Hey everybody, Mike Steele here with Barbecue Champs Academy. I hope everybody's having a great evening. We are certainly looking forward to a wonderful show tonight. We've got Corey Mikes with Fat Boys Barbecue on, and we're going to try to get Joey Smith on with the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. He's having a little bit of trouble with his internet connection, so we're going to see if perhaps we can get him on, even if it's just for a brief moment. But we certainly are glad to have everybody with us tonight. It's been a great week for us this past weekend. We got a chance to go do a little cooking over in Center, Texas, and end up dropping off all 3 tickets. Not big calls, but I was making some changes. I changed up my brisket recipe a little bit, trying some new stuff. Every once in a while, I like to go to the little smaller competitions and see how it does. And we was really blessed, had a good time, got to hang out with some great friends, and Suzette got to cook a couple ancillaries. She hadn't cooked beans in, I don't know, 5 years. She had a second place bean and a second place dessert. It's only the second time she's ever entered a dessert competition. So we had a good time. It's always fun with our barbecue family. And I see we got folks steadily coming in. So as you do, let us know. Mr. Gordon, we can always count on you being here. We appreciate it. Caitlin, glad to have you with us tonight. And Brandon, man, I'm telling you what, you are absolutely killing these ancillary competitions. Another great weekend. I do know that. I saw what you did, and congratulations. Alfred, thank you for being here as well. As you join in, let us know. Shoot us a comment. And let us know that you are here. There's the man. This guy right here has been on absolute fire. This is Mr. Steve Dotson, the cookout coach, DQ'd Barbecue. And he has taken Corey Mike's class. He just absolutely dominated the backyard KCBS division for about a year and a half. And then he rolled out this past year. At the end of the year, he jumped into the pro division. And Lee Hickle was at one of those competitions. And I think he finished 3rd overall, and it was a doubleheader. And I think he even had a 180 score, and then did very, very well. I know it was a doubleheader. He dropped off 7 out of 8 tickets over the 2 days. And then this past week and a half ago, he cooked again. Had another 180 score. I think he even scored over 700. Steve, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But he has just been absolutely killing it, cooking Corey's recipes and having a great time doing it. So glad to have you on here. Corby, thank you for being here tonight. Manny, great to have you on here as well. John, good to have you with us tonight. Paul, appreciate you being here. I think that little video that you sent me of the ancillary you was cooking, I think you ought to whip that up. It sure does look pretty good. Merv, glad to have you here. Man, those are some nice looking ribs that you cooked the other day. And if they turned out and tasted as good as they looked, I'm sure they were very, very good. Justin, thank you for being with us tonight. Yep, he said, yes, sir. That was exactly right. That's good. Bo, thank you for being here, buddy. And looked like you had a pretty good walk. I know Brody's been doing really, really well. Tell that young man congratulations. I'm certainly happy for him. And it's always great to see these young up-and-coming cooks. And I'm a big fan of Brody. I'm always following him as well. So tell him congratulations. Greg, thank you for being on here tonight. I saw that picture you posted over your mantle here just a little bit ago. Man, what a nice looking rack that was on that deer. Beautiful, beautiful deer, man. So let's see. Hopefully on my way to mini calls. Yes, sir. Larry, Dwayne Anderson, thank you, buddy. Real smoke in the house. We sure missed you this past weekend in Center. And hopefully you're going to be able to make Marksville. So who else we got? Mr. Terry Roan's in the house. Terry, appreciate you being here. Terry, we are still on for Saturday for the update on your steak class. So go ahead and be prepared. I was going to call you today, kind of got busy. So I will definitely be reaching out to you tomorrow. But the film crew is set to be here on Saturday for an update on his class. And we're also working on getting Shauna Rapolo in here Saturday for an update on her class. And Corey was trying to make it this weekend. He couldn't, but we're going to be trying to work him in by the end of the month as we continue to go through our classes and update them. As you know, Lee Hickle updated his barbecue class with all his 2022 recipes. Lee's been absolutely crushing it. He had another first place brisket this weekend. And he has been doing very, very well. He's running Kind of the new recipe. Wasn't a lot changed on his brisket. There was one rub, I think, that changed, different sauce. He's been running that and been absolutely killing it with it. So I think he's already had 2 first place, a 4th place. I can't remember all of them. I just know he's been doing pretty good. So anyway, we got a great show lined up tonight with Mr. Corey Mike's Fat Boys Barbecue. Like I said, also, we're trying to get Joey Smith in here as well. Joey's been having a little bit of internet connection problems, so he may be a little delayed getting into the show. But we're going to see if we can get him in. Vince, thank you for being here, man. I tell you what, continue the good work. You got some great glazes out there, buddy, and we're going to keep shouting you out every chance we get. So if you're looking for them good glazes, that man right there can definitely give you the hookup. He was on our podcast here a couple weeks ago. If you missed that, you need to go take a look at it. Hey, here's the other guy we got to look out for. This man right here, Mr. Bill Purvis. This guy right here, I'm just telling you, he has been on absolute fire as well, turning out some amazing looking food. Congratulations, Bill. You have just had a phenomenal year this year. Keep it up, brother, because you are just absolutely killing it. And that rib grind, I'm telling you right now, if you're a backyard cooker and you are looking for just a really good all-purpose backyard rub that's good not only on ribs, but it is great on chicken as well. It's good on pork butt. I don't know if it'd be good on brisket. It's been good on everything else. It probably is, because it does look like it has some nice chunks of pepper in it. It's probably great on that as well. So go check out Chicken Fried Barbecue. You can find him on Facebook. If you're not following him, please do so. And go take a hit and get some of his rib grind. There's a couple places I know that you can get it if you're interested. And we certainly would ask you to support our sponsors. I'll throw this up. You can get it at Lone Star Barbecue Pro Shop. They carry it. And also my good buddy Dustin at the barbecue store. They carry it as well. Certainly do want to give a shout out to all of our partners. Danny Helm at Be Extreme Barbecue, B&B Charcoal, Prairie Fresh, absolutely crushing it with those Prairie Fresh ribs this year. I've had 5 straight top 5 finishes. This past weekend I finished 7th. I haven't been out of the top 10 in my last 5 or 6 cook-offs now. And I love these Prairie Fresh ribs, so be sure to check them out. You can get them at RaiderRedMeats.com. They've got plenty of them in stock, and go check them out. Also, my good friend, Mr. Wild Build at Texas Select Seasoning. We was trying to get him on here this weekend, or this week. He could not make it. He will be with us, Lord willing, next Tuesday. And I tell you what, if you're looking for some very unique rubs, you need to be on the show for next week, because Bill processes, co-packs all his stuff in-house. Everything is made fresh. And he has got some outstanding rubs. We're going to be talking about his brisket rub, his basic beef rubs. He's got one called Juicy Pig. He has got some phenomenal rubs. He's got several different ones. And it'd be a good idea for everybody to be here next week. If you're trying to find that one little rub that'll set you apart, we need to be on here, because Bill's got some great stuff. Also, my good buddy David at Gunnar Wilhelm Knives. I absolutely love his product. He's got some incredibly wicked sharp knives. Be sure to check them out as well. Also, Daigle Barbecue Sauces and Glaze. She's got some great rubs also. And also, all queued up, this is John Lindsay. I want to certainly pass on my condolence to John Lindsay and his entire family. John posted first thing this morning that I had seen when I woke up that his mother passed away last night, about 11:30 last night. He was with her. She's been having a lot of health issues over the course of the last month. I talked to him about a week ago, and he said she's just kind of just getting where she doesn't want to eat, and she's not feeling real well. And he said, I'm just kind of worried. And I said, man, just spend as much time with her as you can. But John, know that we love you. You're in our prayers, and in prayers of all of our barbecue family and steak family, I know. And if you need anything, brother, you let us know. So anyway, we got quite a few folks on here right now. We got 34 people here. Let's see who else we got. Rib grind is everything. We got quite a few folks on here. I done go back up here a little bit. Brent, thank you for being here tonight. Chris Cheney, hey buddy, how you been doing? Here's another one that's taking Lee Hickles' class. He had a first place chicken this weekend, and I think that's his 3rd first place chicken of the year. He's been on absolute fire as well. We have got so many people that have taken classes from us that is doing so good. It's just kind of gotten hard to keep up with everybody. If you're taking our classes and you're doing good, please give us a shout out to let people know. We're going to be bringing you all these new updates. If you've bought classes from us in the past, there is no charge for them. We're just adding them right in to your classes that you already have. And the only thing I ask is, it's costing us money to do all this update. Only thing I'm going to ask people to do, if you would, is to give us a shout out to let everybody know about our classes. We would really appreciate that, and that'll hopefully spark us up some sales and at the same time help us cover the cost of doing these updates for you, not having to charge you. My good buddy Gray Cartwright, he's up in Ohio now. We used to get to cook with him all the time. Appreciate you being with us tonight, Gray. Thank you, Lane. Appreciate you being here. Larry says rib grind's great on everything. I'll have to agree with you. So, Markio, thank you for being here tonight. Appreciate you being here. Let's see, Vince, Texas Select. Yep, great product. Absolutely. Marcus, thank you for being here. And anyway, if y'all got any questions tonight for Corey or Joey, if we can get Joey on, he's trying to make it on the show. Like I said, he's got pretty bad internet connection where he was, so he's moving back to another location. I think he's getting closer to where his house is. And we're going to see if we can get Joey on there. But in the meantime, we do have an unbelievable champ, a 3 champion, Mr. Corey Mikes, Fat Boys Barbecue. Hey, Corey, how are you doing, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you, Mike?
Man, I am doing great. It's always awesome to be able to sit down and be able to talk to you and pick your brain, see that great big smile on your face, and all them freaking trophies lined up behind you. Because, buddy, they keep stacking up behind you. So,
well, that's the goal, right? Keep adding to them.
Keep adding to them. Yeah.
It's a good problem to have for sure.
Absolutely, it is. If you don't know, and I didn't put it in the banner, and I wished I had of, but Corey cooked at the American Royal this past year in 2021, and in the American Royal Invitational had a first place brisket in the Invitational with a perfect 180 score, and got his 3rd world champion. What world champions have you won? I know we've got brisket.
So I've got 3 category wins at the American Royal. I've got brisket 21 invitational. I've got first place chicken open 2016, and first place rib invitational 2017.
Wow! So 2016, 2017, 2021.
Yeah. And I need a pork to kind of finish the collection.
Yeah, to finish it up. I'm sure that's probably going to come this year. Yeah. So, and you even finished in the open one time. Didn't you finish 3rd overall in the open?
3rd overall, yeah.
3rd overall in the open. Yeah.
Well, I don't know which one it is.
He's got so many of them. That's pretty bad when you got so many. I don't know which one I've got here. So, yeah, finished 3rd overall in the open. So, I tell you what, Corey, you're an unbelievable cook. And we had a great time when we filmed your class. You know who I need to get on here at some point in time? We got to get your dad on here.
Yep, we should.
We really should, because why don't you tell the story? We were sitting here filming, and I didn't know I was in here with barbecue royalty, right? And you said, my dad won, he grand champion 19 out of 20 competitions back in 1999. It's outrageous.
He could tell you, I think it happened in 93 or 94, but it was 19 out of like 22 or 23. And he cooked the Royal that year. He cooked the Jack. Those are some, that he didn't grand that year, but he was just on an unbelievable streak. And, cooking's changed so much, and he'll be the first to tell you that. But, it's still the same philosophy. Good food's good food, and
right.
The cream rises to the top. And, it is like I'm looking at some of his trophies over here, and I'll try to pan, and let's see if I can not screw this up too bad.
Yeah,
but
there you go. Oh, man. Yeah, look at that.
Wow. And these are just some of the ones here that he, they're more sentimental. He's actually, these are the ones that he shows to the public here at the restaurant. But then you go to their house, and they've got a big bookshelf behind, their TV, their entertainment center area that's full of trophies.
Wow.
And it's his Jack Daniel's trophies. He's got a whole collection of those. And the American Royal trophies used to be these little blue. So each of these are category wins that he had.
Okay.
Over here, and his
the crown.
Let's see his overall trophy. Yeah, let me get my. He'd say, that's a trophy that I like, but
right.
They used to come with a brass or a bronze slab of ribs on him there. So
okay,
you know,
that's cool.
kind of a unique trophy. He you know, obviously very proud of all this stuff, and his crown's kind of falling apart, but it's also 25 years old.
25 years old, yeah, absolutely,
So
absolutely. Well, I tell you what, it was pretty cool to, you know, I didn't know who he was, you know. I mean, that was
yeah,
I wasn't cooking then. I didn't start cooking to
right,
2013. And then you was kind of telling me some of this, like, is this your stuff? He's like, yeah. You know, I was talking to him a little bit, and
yeah,
he said, yeah, he don't want my stuff no more. He's kind of done it. He's doing his own thing, but he'll ask me, hey, taste this, Dad, and see what you think. And that's kind of how that story went, isn't it?
yeah, yeah. And you know, it's something that we were actually kind of talking about it this last weekend. You know, it's so we filmed with Food Network, a TV show, and quite honestly, I didn't even ask what the show is going to be called. I know they're filming 6 or 8 different contests around the country, kind of getting some regional flavors involved.
Mm-hmm.
But our host was Michael Simon, and of course, you know,
Mm-hmm.
he's kind of a world-renowned chef, and we were talking about flavor profiles. And you know, my dad, he's been cooking forever, and what's been passed down from his father to him to me, you know, and really it's a simple, like, you know, smoke, meat, fire, barbecue pit, but the end result is just something that's delicious, you know, and that's
Right.
really what we're going for. So you know, while the techniques may have changed, you know, some philosophies may have changed, you know, the end result's still
It's
the
got to
same.
be. It's got to be good
Yeah,
food.
it's got to be
That's the.
good. Yeah,
It's got to be good. It's got to melt in your
yeah,
mouth. The tenderness, the
right,
texture, all that stuff.
right,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's right. And you had a great weekend. You know, speaking of
Yeah,
this weekend, you hadn't cooked in 5 months. You know,
5 months. Yeah,
you roll out to Cedar Park, 60 plus teams, I think's what it was. No
right.
pressure with Iron Chef Michael
You know,
Simon
and
there, and the Food Network and cameras in you. And what the heck you do? You finished third overall, and didn't you have a
yeah,
perfect? Did you have a 180 or
no
had
no
a second place?
180s.
Had a
Yep.
second place brisket, and man,
Second brisket, third rib. Yeah, and you know, I actually kind of another funny story with this past weekend is I had a master judge doing his training with me with KCBS, and that's a process that if you're not familiar with KCBS, once you get to a certain point, you the judges go shadow a team, and that's how they kind of get that accolade as a master judge. And so we had set this up actually 2 years ago for him to come shadow me back Cedar Park 2020. I believe he's from Arkansas, but he doesn't really have a home base. You know, he's retired, so they travel, and he couldn't make it last year. Of course, COVID canceled 2020. Couldn't make it
right,
last year. So last year I said, well, you know what? Just catch me next year. You know, I'll be there. And with everything going on, I told him, I said, man, I'm worried I'm not going to give you enough attention, but if you want to tag along, you could be more than welcome. And so I had a master judge shadowing, Food Network, first cook in 5 months. I'm trying to think of what else. I ran a new pork process, you know, just out of the gate, you know, with the KCBS pork rules changing.
right.
So it really was like, what could go wrong? You know, it's like, it's, and then, you know, we kind of were joking about it, and hopefully the guys didn't see me stressing, but we started laughing, you know, like the Food Network came there and filmed us, and how embarrassing would it be for us to all
Bomb.
goose egg, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah. And, you
yeah.
know, it could happen. It's not likely with the group of guys that they filmed, but,
Right.
you know, it's, you know, cook-offs can be weird, you know?
Cook-offs. Well, think about what happened to
So,
Barbecue Pit Masters when it was running around. At
yeah,
first, they were just filming everybody, and they were just sitting on their butt, you know. And after a couple seasons, that was like, we got to change, and we're filming all these guys. These are
yeah,
supposed to be the cream of the crop, and they're not winning. So what we're going to do is they shifted, and that's what Robbie Roy was telling me. And then they said, okay, we're going to pair you guys up, and now it's just
right.
you guys, the best of the best cooking. We're going to pick a winner, and I
Yeah.
think that formula worked a whole lot better. You know, you got pretty
And, you
fortunate
know,
this weekend.
I don't think, I don't have this down as fact, so I can't speak to if this is true, but I do think that with that first season of Barbecue Pit Masters, they also had that one where they chased some competitions in the Southeast, and I can't remember what that
Right.
was. A Barbecue Pit Wars, maybe. I can't. There's another
Yeah,
show, but
yeah, I think it was.
the first team to win a GC in one of these TV shows being filmed was just last weekend, and it was Joe Pierce from Slaps Barbecue.
Wow.
Olathe, Kansas. So, I'm pretty happy with third overall,
Oh,
especially
heck
everything,
yeah.
all the obstacles that were there. Of course, you're haven't cooked in 5 months, already feeling rusty, and then every second you turn around, there's a camera in your face,
Right.
or
Right.
they're asking you kind of, you know, what's going on, what are you
Right.
doing, kind of. So, that was fun though. I can see how guys can get addicted to that. I don't think it's my personality. I'd do it again, but
Right.
really, I just love cooking and love competing. So,
Yeah.
um,
So how did it feel cooking with Michael Simon being an Iron Chef, right? I mean, this guy
yeah,
is freaking amazing. I mean,
right.
so how did it feel? Any pressure? Like, okay,
Oh
I've
yeah,
I've got to deliver Mike Simons here.
and I really set that up in my pre-cook interviews. Is that I stress that I don't want anyone to think that I'm cooking anything out of the box. I'm cooking in the lane of barbecue. I'm cooking barbecue. It's
Mm-hmm.
if they want to put a label on it, do I cook Texas style barbecue, Kansas style? What's my flavor profile? It's I just say I try to cook good barbecue. I don't
Right.
really try to stick within those rules, but I do stick within the rule of barbecue. And so,
Mm-hmm.
because I didn't want him to taste my chicken and expect something just out of
Right.
bounds.
Right.
It's because I'm cooking barbecue.
Right.
So,
Right.
um, and so I tried to downplay it, just because, if he did take that bite with me, and, of course, you don't know what they're going to do. They're just kind of all tagging along, and we're popping in and out whenever they pleased. And, so they got some pretty candid shots. There may be a few things that, maybe they push the narrative in a way they want. Maybe
Right.
they built up a rivalry between some of the cooks on the show that we filmed, that really there's no rivalry there. And I think the
Right.
guys that know, the
Right.
friends, will know that. But it was fun. It's fun to have some friendly banter, and
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, so and it's also back to that rib grind. Bill was another team that got filmed, and I hope he's watching this, because he had no excuses on brisket, and he does use per him an entire shaker of rib grind on his brisket. I
Wow.
can't verify that that's true.
Right. It probably isn't.
but
It
but
probably isn't.
yeah,
Oh goodness.
I walked over Friday night, and he was just prepping up an absolutely beautiful brisket.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
we had some friendly banter, and it was fun. It was a lot
That's
of fun.
good. Well, I see we got somebody else coming in here. Joey just popped on, so let's see if you promise not to tell. Bill said you promise not to tell. Yeah, he's laughing at that. I doubt very seriously that Bill used a whole bottle of rib grind on a brisket.
Hey,
So
everyone's
you
got to
never know
try it
with
at least
Bill.
once.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to try it.
yeah,
Bill will tell you it's good on everything because he wants to sell a lot of
yeah,
rub, right?
yeah.
Well, let's see if we can get Mr. Joey Smith in here, buddy. Let's see if this is a better signal. How you doing, buddy?
I'm hoping we're going to be okay. I don't know. We're going to find out.
Well, right now it looks good. It's clear. It's not buffering. So we got Corey as a backup. And if it does lock up on you, I'll give you a little signal like this. That means it's locked up. So redo it and just pop back in.
We'll
And for
try.
all of our listeners, kind of be patient with us a little bit. Joey's trying to work it out. Let's give him just a second. So let's talk about Joey real quick, Corey, and then we'll kind of come back
Yeah.
into you. Joey Smith, Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. I think a lot of people know about this incredible organization that Joey founded a little over a year ago now, about 16 months ago, isn't it?
Yes,
And he has got Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation. For those that do not know, Joey started this foundation, and he brings in men and women that are suffering from PTSD, that have served in the military or first responders, and he brings them into barbecue competition to actually let them cook, to show them a skill, to get them out of the bad situation that they're in with PTSD, and give them a new outlook on life. And he has had some amazing success stories. I guess obviously your most successful one has got to be Josh Hale, the first guy that you ever brought in, who is now turned into be one of the just unbelievable cooks in less than a year and a half. and just absolutely crushing it. I've seen now 3 or 4 grand champions, a lot of first place calls. It's awesome, Joey, what you've done, and you can tell us a little bit more about it.
Oh, it was awesome. When Tim and those guys called, asked for a cook to put in for Cedar Fest, and they just wanted to get someone that could probably possibly give them a walk. Well,
right.
They pretty much got what they needed there. You know, we got a walk and actually got into the top 10. That was pretty amazing.
Yeah. And to tell you, not only did you just get a top 10, Joey got reserve grand champion at Cedar Park, and I tell you what, man, that's a big feat, because there was some big names there: Corey Mikes, Fred Robles, Bill Purvis, Philip Breeden. I'm sure I've missed several other heavy hitters. That was just the ones that I've seen.
Oh yeah, getting basted, T-Mac.
Getting basted's there with Brad Laniger. I mean, come on, and Manuel ended up winning it, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
A little less than 3/4 of a point, and I think Corey was 100 thousandths behind us. It was a tight top 3.
Wow, that's crazy. So, So who did you have cooking with you? How did you find the cook? Tell us a little bit about who you brought in, how you found him, and what his name was.
Well,
if you can tell it.
We can. Nicholas, I won't give his last name. We'll talk about Nicholas. But Corey actually found this veteran for us, believe it or not.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Kind of funny how almost like it's fate, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It was actually really cool. He so I actually work with him.
Okay.
And he came out and hung out last year at Cedar Fest, had a great time. And while we were there, I said, you know what? Joey's doing this thing. You need to look into it. And it's taken, a while for I think for him to actually get his application in. But it was such a cool experience. Monday morning, of course I go to work, and it's like the cook off, you cook and you do well, and it's Monday, it's back to real life, and he was like just glowing.
I bet.
And he just talked about the red carpet that he felt that Joey and the team rolled out, and he said he felt like he was part of the team and how it was integrated into it. And he said he was at times so overwhelmed with the information he was getting that he had so much fun. He's like he wanted to relive it, he wanted to do it again, and it was really cool. It's a really cool process and how it's all worked out. Yeah.
Wow.
And so it's like, I finished third, and of course,
and he got second.
I tell everyone, I always want to win, but man, I really, if I don't win, I want to cheer for my friends. And so this is kind of a really cool situation that it's hard to be upset about being that close to a reserve and missing out.
Right.
And of course, like I think Manuel was a point away from us. So he was a taste point or so away from us. We were real tight finish. We were all in good company there, though. So
that's great, man. You have made that. What was the guy's name?
Nicholas.
Nick.
Yep.
Nicholas.
Yep. Nick. He's out of the Army. Good guy.
He's great. Super guy.
And this is probably another reason why we were so successful that weekend, because he took it all in, and he did not get scared about getting hands on at all. He has a little bit of just regular backyard experience, but I tell you what, he sucked it up. Whatever we told him, pointed fingers, and the more he accepted, the more we gave him. They all saw the pictures, and we got more to send out there. I mean, he got all over it. He seasoned every meat. He injected every meat.
Oh my goodness!
Fire management. Yes, it was awesome, and we got to fire up our gateway, our first gateway we ever got. It was great. We ran Jason's drum for pork, but we ran that gateway for brisket, and that thing put us where it needed to be.
Wow, that is absolutely awesome. What an incredible program that the Texas Crew Heroes Foundation has put together. Joey, I know you're super proud of that. I know that there's just a lot of people that are just thrilled with what you're doing. I know I am, and it's just an awesome deal to see the people that you've helped. Now Corey's got somebody he's going to have to rag. Hey, I beat you. I beat you. So
it's funny. when I took this job here a couple of years ago, he found out that I cook barbecue, and he was just getting into it in the backyard. He was like, "Man, let's do a brisket cook-off." And I said, "Nick, I don't know if that's fair. It's like,
right, right.
I don't know if we should." And so after a while, we ended up doing it. And he cooked a pretty good brisket. This is a guy that I think this was. I could be wrong. I think this was his second brisket he's ever cooked. And it was it was way better than my second brisket.
Wow.
Of course it was fun. I don't want to say that it wasn't a contest. The staff got to eat it, and everyone had fun with it.
Right.
But he's just been so immersed in barbecue. There's times that we've got so much going on, and he's talking barbecue, and I'm like, man, like, I remember when I was constantly the wheels 24/7 were turning about barbecue. And it's cool to watch someone go through that again. And then get this experience and the hat throw. And he said he's just. I think did y'all play some chicken? Is that right?
Yes, we had
a first walk. He was kicked back, and y'all got called, and he didn't think that he was supposed to go up to the stage with you. And he said that you got out of your chair and turned around, and you were like, "Nick, get your butt up here. We're going."
I love it.
And he was like, "What are you doing?"
Oh, that is too funny.
He
didn't know.
He said
he didn't know.
Man, I didn't want to do anything I wasn't supposed to. And
that is awesome.
I said, "Man, you're part of the team," and I shouted him out on my Facebook post just because we're buddies, and he was like, "Man, I don't know if dude, you're part of the team. You're in.
You're in now.
That was part of it. So
that is so
just
awesome.
An awesome experience.
Yeah, Greg posted, it's awesome. Anytime you get to see Joey throw that hat at a competition, he does an awesome job with what he does. That is so awesome, Greg. I 100% agree with you, buddy. I mean, it's pretty cool to see. So I like the little banner in. Can't wait to take my run at Corey Mike soon. There we go. Marcus is coming after you next. So that's the thing. When you're on top, everybody's after you, right? So
I did tease that in my closing interview that if because we had like this brisket rivalry going on this last weekend on Food Network, and so I teased if anyone wants to come after a brisket flag, we can get a come and take it, brisket flag next year, and
that's awesome.
We'll compete for it down there. We'll have some fun if anyone wants to come down.
That would be awesome, no doubt.
I think this cook-off really made a staple for kind of like Corey and I's hometown, and especially the guys that were coming to gunning for it. It was this was a good cook-off.
Yeah,
it was.
Y'all come show up in our backyard, you better bring it. Second and third right there. So, oh, man, that is so good. Look, I know there was one question. If you've got any question for these guys, let me know. But I do know that Terry Roan, and Terry, I wasn't going to forget about you. I hope you're still with us, Terry. Corey, what type of units do you cook on?
So, right now I cook on a Jambo offset. I run all four of my meats touch that pit. I also have a Gateway drum smoker that I've kind of implemented into my chicken process. I started out on that Gateway, roll it over back onto my Jambo, and finish it back on that Gateway. And then all my meats are actually finished on the Gateway.
Right.
And that's something that I've been playing with. It's for years I didn't have a way to carry a Gateway. That was just or a drum, just with the way that we travel with the motorhome. But I always grew up eating grilled chicken and, caramelized barbecue sauce and, grilling off ribs over hot coals. And that was something that I kind of always missed. And, you see these guys doing it. You see Fred doing it, and Joey, and everyone grilling off stuff. And I felt like I was missing that step in my program. And so when I get a chance to come out and film an update, that's something we'll talk about as some updated techniques and recipes.
Us as well.
Yeah.
Because it's always, we're just like everyone else. We're constantly trying to grow and learn and, find an edge. And, of course you find an edge, and as soon as you find it, everyone else knows it too.
Yeah. Everybody else has got it.
Yeah. The way the internet goes. So you're always constant, not that I'm constantly changing what I'm doing, but I think you're open to what's out there.
Right.
And I think Corey agreed with me too. Most of all our new cooks and up and coming and cookers are coming. They're on barrels, so we have to adapt to teach these guys our recipe to cook on a barrel.
Right.
And where we're heading with this is that way they're going to be able to accept it and be able to carry on and cook on their own units, versus looking and going, well, dang, I can't afford to go buy a $15,000 Jambo or a one-man pit. We're putting it together. That's what Corey and I are doing. What we're doing, we're adjusting our cook to help them get better on their units.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So Merv's got a question. What makes a drum cooker better than, say, like a gravity fed or a stick burner? What is it? So you're cooking everything on a Jambo, but you're kind of finishing it off on a drum. So do you like the caramel? I heard you mention caramelization. You can kind of caramelize. You can bring the temperature up to caramelize it.
Right. So it's it's kind of two-stage. You get that direct heat, so you can caramelize the sauce a little easier. Also, it's I use it as a step to kind of caramelize the skin before I sauce at times. Maybe the skin on some chicken. So it's you're getting a smoke flavor in a different way. You're getting that sauce dripping on the coals, and then it's also just a completely different airflow. Jambo offset, you're getting so much airflow through that pit. This drum, it's a confined unit that it concentrates the flavors, so you can really throw some smoke at the end of a cook to kind of reset everything. So
that's good.
Just a flavor step.
Flavor step. Okay. Travis Hale, Facebook has been a game changer in the shigging game. Yeah, 100%, Travis. There's no doubt about that.
I tried to, with all the cameras this weekend, I tried to set up some baby monitors and stuff and threw some, and I think Bill and Fred and them all caught them and caught on to my game. But
that's hilarious.
I didn't learn anything.
That is hilarious. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, man alive. Well, if anybody's got any question for either Corey or Joey, drop them in the chat, in the comments, and we'll certainly, if it's something they feel like they can answer, they will. I don't think they're going to divulge their recipe, so please don't ask for that. Both of them got classes on Barbecue Champs Academy, so if you want to know what these guys are doing, you can go to that website right there, bbqchamps.com. There are several folks on here that have taken classes, and there's some that have been extremely good, consistent walks. Corey, I think you sold 2 classes the very next day after Cedar Park, and I'm sure there's going to be more to follow. So anyway, and there's the man that won it all right there. Manuel, congratulations.
What's up, man?
Huge congratulations, man, for a big first place finish at that competition.
It's his first KCBS win too, as well.
Really,
Manuel.
Man, that's awesome. That is awesome.
It's a good feeling.
Who has the better class? Take both of them. This guy's got plenty of money. Take both, and he's over here laughing. Look at him. Who has the better class? So, well, now if we go by statistics of this weekend, Joey beat Corey by 4,000ths of a point or something. So
I don't even know how the math works out on that.
That's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. Oh, goodness.
Score sheet, and I was going, boy. We kind of looking at some areas
we knew it. Yeah, we knew it. When I had the second place brisket, you said, good God, this is a boat race.
Yeah.
That's a shootout, man. I said, when you got that, I went, we got that last call. I was going, man, for us to get a walk, that's all I asked for. I asked to go over to get my guys on stage one time, but to do it in 3 times, this is the first time we've ever done it with a veteran. And when we got up there that third time, he goes, Nick, just look at me. He goes, man, we're like kind of competing for the win. I said, oh, yeah, boy. I said, we're in the hunt right now.
We're in the hunt. Yeah, you get 3 walks, you're in.
We did something really terrible on ribs, which we knew we had a rib problem, and that's what hurt us. We had a bad quality of meat, and I was trying to teach him what we were trimming, and we go for fatty ribs, but these suckers had fat lines in them, and we just had to turn in what we had to turn in. We took 4 racks, try to sort them out, but you know how it goes, Corey.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I was worried about was ribs. I ran all over Bell County trying to find some ribs, and I was unhappy with my ribs. I actually whined about it to Manuel. I heard he had gone and bought all the good ribs right there locally, and so it saved me a trip from going to the store and being disappointed to find out all the good ribs were gone.
Right.
But that was my concern too, and then I got them on the board. Sometimes they just impress you. It's you thought it was a bad rib, and you go to slice it, and you actually. I haven't cooked in 5 months. I don't remember what a good rack of ribs looks like. I guess.
That's funny. That's funny. All right, we got a question for you from Danny at Be Extreme. Joey, what made you start up the barbecue or the Texas Chrome Heroes Foundation? What was your drive and passion behind it?
Well, my driving passion was on my off time, I would go volunteer for some of these game ranches that would take veterans out hunting and fishing.
Okay.
And they were looking for a guy to come, hey, can you help us do breakfast, lunch, dinner, cook some barbecue? I said, shoot, yeah, man. It's just part of I'm a giving back kind of person. Done it all my life. So we carried on with that. Well, after our second year, we realized that some of these guys couldn't come back that got drawn for these big trophy deer. But their brother that they went in the military with, they got to, but they could take a guest. Well, they bring them, but they couldn't go to the stand and go hang out or be part of the hunt. But they hung back at camp to be there to wait for them and hang out for the entertainment part of it. Well, by our third year, I had a whole rack of military guys that just fell in love with what we were doing and the barbecue and the grilling experience, teaching them what we knew how to do. And then after that, I just a light bulb went off at one of these events. And I said, you know what? I'm going to bring them into a competition atmosphere and inject them the same way. The only thing's different with our program versus those kind of programs is my door's going to be swinging open and closed all the time. Nicholas gets to come back again, and we're going to set the bar a little higher for him in a different competition, set him with another guy that's never done it before, and then make him be the teacher. So these guys still are going to be able to interact and do the same thing, but that's where it started. I started with those, and that's gave me the light bulb to bring it into what I do best in the competition world.
Man, that is absolutely awesome. I've often wondered that. That's a great question, Danny. Good deal. So here's another question for you. Have any of you cooked in an area or region in the U.S. that is predominantly drum territory or offset smoker territory?
Go to Dallas. You go to Jambo heaven if you want to go compete in Dallas. That's all you're going to look at.
A lot of Jambos up there. And it's getting harder to find. A lot of drums are out there. Just at these competitions you go to, I'd say almost 50% of the people are probably cooking on drums.
I've never seen this weekend before that came to here. A tornado drum. Never heard of one of those before.
Wow.
When I competed in Bentonville, I was told going there that was drum territory. And I purposely bought a 30-gallon drum to put in the shower of the motorhome because I could squeeze it in there.
That's the only place you can put it.
Yep.
The shower. My wife would kill me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Wait, I should have said that. Mom didn't know we did that. So delete that clip.
Yeah, clip.
That was when I realized, that's how versatile kind of carrying a drum or a grill or something with you with an offset is you can kind of impart a little bit of that flavor. So, you can get by there.
Right.
It does feel good to go into drum territory and walk away with a really good finish.
Yeah. Absolutely. All right, so here's another question from CJ. What do you guys recommend for best bark on brisket and steel wrap, butcher paper or aluminum foil?
I'm aluminum foil guy. I'm not a big butcher paper guy unless I'm going to do something in the backyard. I don't.
Yeah.
Bark's going to get too wet with butcher paper for a competition to my eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I actually, it's a really underrated method, and we do it in competition, maybe not to this extent, but I love cooking with aluminum foil at home in the backyard, and then, resting my brisket and returning it to the pit right before I slice it.
Yeah.
That way it kind of resets that bark, gets fresh smoke back on it.
Yep.
It's the best of both worlds. And then you have all that great au jus that makes, that's the best sauce for brisket anyways is, the au jus.
I'm 100%. 100%. Let's see. Hello, Mike, Joey, and Corey. Congrats on a great weekend, boys. Yeah, thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
So, saw a ripped triangle in real life. It was pretty.
A ripped triangle with a cool pit.
Those things are cool, yeah.
Ripped tangle.
They're just heavy.
Is it
They're
a drum?
A monster to carry. No, it's a square. Yeah. It's square. Well, it's a drum setup, but it's a square box.
I got you.
You can fit a whole like a full-size full pan in it.
Oh wow! Okay.
It's a rectangular. Okay. They're sweet. They're just heavy.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. Anybody got any other questions, man? This is a good time to get them. We got all the guys. The boys are sitting here ready to answer. So, but yeah, you guys have done just absolutely great. And I was telling the guys earlier, Joey, that Corey's trying to get scheduled to get in here to do an update on his class. Also, Joey's trying to get in here as well to do an update on his. We've already got Lee. David Bosca's going to be doing an update on his class. Mark Lambert's going to be doing an update on his class. So all the barbecue guys are wanting to come in and update. I even talked to Sterling. Smitty wants to come in and do an update on his class as well. And then all the state cookers are. So it's going to be a pretty cool deal with what we've done with Barbecue Champs to keep these guys constantly giving you the new updates that they're doing. There's no question. The guys win, I mean, they have solid walks. The people that have taken their classes are just, I haven't heard anybody that just says, I can't walk taking these classes. I've never heard that happen. Just everybody is usually like, my gosh, this was a game changer. You opened my eyes to so much new stuff. So, anyway.
I'm actually, I'm waiting on Steve Dodson to come out with a class so I can take his chicken class.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah, Steve will probably say, I'm using your stuff. Come on in and I'll show, because he did tell me, he said, I'm running his stuff, and I think he's doing one or the two other little things, but yeah, he's
got some tweaks in there.
He's got some tweaks in there, so.
That's what's, great about it. You get the basis and you tweak it to exactly what you want.
That's it. You can go in and make little subtle changes to it. So
when James Brooks was slaughtering us on ribs, we were playing. But I said, "Man, God dang it!" I said, "You're killing our ribs." I said, "Man, what are you doing?" He goes, "You ever took your own class, Joey?" And then I said, "Well, that's pretty much a pretty good slap in the face." So okay.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious. Yeah, James is a great guy. There's no doubt, and he has been crushing it. And he's got his own drum too, and he's doing really good with them drums. So
it is. I mean, that drum flavor is definitely a game changer for a lot of folks.
Yeah, absolutely. Bobby Stewart wants to know if any of y'all cooking the Terrell Jubilee coming up. I think it's the third weekend in April.
I actually granted that. That was. Boy, we're fixing to go back in the archives, baby. When, we
several years ago
won the Jubilee and Terrell. We were cooking against. We won it against one of our old from West. God dang it, husband Michelle and
Ronnie Wade. Yeah.
That was my very first one of my first cook-offs that I ever got to walk all three to Grand, and we were. Minute points apart, but we were ecstatic. Yeah. Ronnie Way beside me, and he goes, "You granted this thing." I said, "I can't even keep up track of points. How do you even know?" But he's probably won a little over 200 competitions by then.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And yes, that's a great one. And also, that's the cook-off that Josh Hell granted last year as well.
Right. Yeah, he did. That's exactly right.
Did he grant that or reserve it? Correct? I think he granted it. Yeah.
I think he granted it.
It's Steve says cook-off.
Steve says people ask me about a class. I tell them to go take Corey's.
I'll have to go take my own class, see what I'm missing.
There you go. Hey, I tell you right now, Terry Rohn, last year, he had started just where he got off. He was just off track, and he wasn't doing as good. And he said, I went back. I watched my class from beginning to end, every single process. I watched it a couple times. He said, I realized there was a lot of things that I had added and taken away from what got me there. And he went back, and he said, I'm calling it the 2018 comeback tour. And he went back, and when he did, I mean, he went flying up the chart, got all the way back to first place in the SEC, and he was way down. He wasn't even in the top 10, went all the way to first place, was up there for a couple weeks. And I think he still finished 4th or 5th overall in the SCA. But sometimes he said I had to get back to the basics of what got me there. Yeah. So sometimes that can happen. Let's see, Gordon, any word on Clash of the Titans Barbecue Edition? That's something that we are definitely wanting to try to get done. We'll probably just have to do like maybe a rib or chicken class, or maybe just one of the classes. But I definitely have thought about that. And it's just getting all these guys together and to do it. The state guys was a little easier because it was a real fast process to cook. So, but it is something that we're hoping one day that we can do a Clash of the Titans barbecue edition.
It would be cool. There's rumors, and these rumors don't have very long legs, so don't run with it. But Bedford is coming back with the KCBS, and I'm pushing everyone I can to try to make it a CBA KCBS double.
Right.
So I think that'd be cool to get everyone kind of together for that. And I'll definitely throw an extra rack of ribs on the pit. And
let them go after it, huh?
Yeah.
Corey's done called everybody out. Y'all bring it. I got an extra rack of ribs for you.
Not chicken.
Just ribs. That is hilarious. That is hilarious. All right, let's see, Joey. If we know veterans that would benefit from hooking up with you for a cook, how do we go about doing that? How does that process work? Great question.
Great question. Our application is on texaschrome.org. You can go right there and they go into that application, and it's real easy to fill out, and it just comes straight to an email. As long as I get all their contact, we do have some difficult type questions that we would like to know a little bit more about them, but we can also take those on hand when we do their interview. But we don't turn nobody down.
Okay, good. Sounds good. And it's texaschrome.org?
Yes, sir.
texaschrome.org. Okay, good.
It's also now that you know that the website's merged down, you can go to Texas Barbecue, TexasChromeBarbecue.com as well. It's all one now.
And
so we merged
it's on
everything.
there. Okay, I got you. When you get highly marbled ribs, do you run the temp higher for a period of time to render them, or just increase the timeline and go longer? That's a good question. So you got a lot of fat marbling in the rib.
I'm a hot and fast on the get-go on all my stuff. I don't know how Corey is, but I'm pretty hot and fast on the drum on the get-go, and then I slow things down about 40 minutes afterwards. So,
okay.
When I got a lot of marbling.
Similar. Yeah, I'm kind of similar. I'm pretty hot and fast. My ribs, I like to give myself 4 hours. Most of the time they're done in 3 hours and 15 minutes. But I don't cook to temp. I think a lot of people know that. I'm a feel guy.
Yeah.
I don't probe my ribs. I couldn't tell you if they're done at 205 or 209, or they're done when they feel done.
He doesn't. He was doing his cooking class with us, and he said, I was like, he said, no, they need another 20 minutes. And I was like, I said, do you probe them? No. I was like, well, you're going to probe these because I can't say, hey, it feels like this. So I got to have a temperature, Corey. And he was like, okay, well, they feel good. Give me the thermopen. And then he was like, oh, here's my temperature. And I was like, perfect. As long as we got something that they can go off of. That was pretty funny. Yeah. But he is right. He goes off of feel on his ribs. So, and he was like, no, they're still a little tight. Let me wrap them up. I'll give them another 15, 20 minutes and I'll be back. And you came back and he was like, oh, these are perfect. And I was like, well, let's probe one, see where we are. So let's see. Corey's rib check changed my rib game entirely. So, yeah.
This is part of, it's passed down from my granddad to my dad to me. And it's, every piece of meat's different. So you'll have one rack that's going to finish at a temp, the next rack, and brisket to brisket's going to vary. And what's not going to vary is feel, you're going to get that same feel. So, and I guess you could use a toothpick or a thermopen or something that makes sense, but I just like to use my hands. I don't know why. It's just what I do.
It's what you're used to. It's all about what you get used to and you're accustomed to doing. And once you do that, it's all great. So,
well, you won't lose these.
That's right. That's right.
Where's the toothpicks? Where's
the I've lost some fingers here. Oh, goodness gracious. That would be a fun cook-off. Make you guys cook and say, well, see, I already cooked. Corey's like, yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yeah,
no thermopen. Let's just see how you guys do. No thermopens.
Thermopen. I got my thermopen.
I got my thermopen right here, man. Yeah. Corey's over here going, yeah, them feel about right. And I'm going, man, I don't do that. So, oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'll tell you what, guys, it's been a great show. A lot of people have absolutely enjoyed it. Nice show. Congratulations to you. That's Mr. Danny. Corey, what's on tap for you? My gosh, we got to get you out there cooking. COVID last year screwed everything up because you were stuck in the hospital so dadgum much. And
yeah, I should have some more open weekends this year. Boys in baseball through end of May, so I'll stick close to home. But I'm planning on running a little bit of this Johnny Trigg KCBS circuit here in Texas. I'd love to make it out to Lubbock and Bedford, and they have actually one out in East Texas coming up.
Yeah, so Lake Merval, that's Anna Bryce and Scotty Bryce. That's 40 miles from here. You need to try to come because it's going to be a CBA on Saturday, and it's going to be a Johnny Trigg KCBS shootout on Sunday.
There it is. There's our rib cook.
There we go. Yeah, get all the guys together. Let's have. You know what? It would be pretty easy because it's only 40 minutes from the house, 45 minutes from the house. It'd be easier for me to get that film crew over there on a Friday and say, "Okay, boys, let's throw it down here in the at the Lake Merval Park over here." So we may have to. Joey, you up for that competition? You think? You think you're gonna make that one?
I need to see the dates on that. Of course,
June. I'll tell you when it is.
Don't tell me.
Probably June 25th, 26th. Probably.
It is. It's the 25th and 26th.
Don't tell me that weekend.
It's
June the 25th and 26th.
That's the third cook-off of our point series for the foundation. So the SS Memorial Seguin. So that's the only thing that hurt us. We sat there and looked at us, go, man, we got a pretty good little run. We could go play with this Johnny Trigg thing. But 2 of those cook-offs overrun our foundation stuff.
Wow. What have you got going on that weekend, Corey?
I think I'm supposed to go down to the beach.
Oh man! Come on.
I'm gonna have to get with my wife and see if we can move our reservation.
We need to reschedule that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that is funny.
Maybe not. I'll have to see. She was looking at some weekends in June.
There you go. Well, there's plenty of weekends in June. You just don't pick that weekend, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh goodness!
You need to come in August to our finale cook-off. It's a great place for the kids there at the water park.
At the Lost Lagoon.
Yeah.
The Lost Lagoon was a cool place down there. Your kids you wouldn't ever see them. Yeah, it's a huge water park. 1,000,000 gallon swimming pool, huge water park. It's amazing. So
shoot me the dates on that.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Do that.
Shoot me the dates on that.
Well, Corey, I hope to see you out on the circuit a little bit more. It sure would be great. And you're always a threat. Anytime that you show up and light a fire, everybody knows that Corey Mikes is there not playing. So, Joey, I know you've got a lot of competitions coming up. You're staying busy. We don't even have to ask that. And I know you got a lot of competitions. If you're wanting to know, you can go to the barbecue store. Dustin Stanley's got a list of all the competitions listed out. And anyway, I appreciate you guys immensely. Thank you so much for what you've done for helping me to help the barbecue world cook better barbecue, and with your classes and the constant updates, the Facebook pages, the private Facebook pages where people are asking questions. It's so awesome to see you guys interacting when people are asking questions there and helping people to continue to grow. So that to me is what it's all about. That was my whole vision of Barbecue Champs Academy. And it was funny. Joey was the first person that I called. Robbie Roy was the second person I called, and the third person I called was Corey Mikes. And Corey, I think Joey, you saw him at Cedar Park.
It's
like, you need to do. Well, what's he doing? I can't tell you. Well, what do you mean? I can't tell you. I'm under a non-disclosure agreement. I can't. Well, but you got to tell. It's going to revolutionize barbecue. Well, what is it? I can't tell you. Just need to talk to Mike Steele. So. But I remember that. I remember talking to him. I was down at Marksville sitting in a parking lot and telling him everything. And he was like, oh, my gosh, I'm so ready to do this. This is going to be great. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart being part of Barbecue Champs. You guys are true champions, world champions at that. And I really do appreciate it. Corey, you got any final words?
It's always fun to go out and spend time with a bunch of dudes in a random field or parking lot. And, it's funny trying to put into words and explain to Food Network what you do. And really, what it boils down to, we drive all over the country and compete against each other and beat up on each other. And but at the end of the day, it's, if I need something, I know Joey Smith is a phone call away. And he's actually helped me out with some some stuff outside of barbecue before, and it's it's those friendships you build and relationships. So it's something that I look forward to doing for a long time, hopefully.
Yeah, it's fun, no doubt. Joey, what about you, buddy?
Man, same thing. I love barbecue, family. It's just something when you get hooked up with these guys at a competition and you develop this type of relationship. And for me, it's a big change for me to give the reins over to these guys and meeting new people all the time and being a coach now and producing still stellar barbecue and still be able to play with these guys on a weekend basis. I can't ask for nothing better than that.
That's awesome. That is absolutely awesome. Well, guys, I appreciate y'all being on. And to all of our listeners, we are certainly thankful for you being with us tonight, taking a little bit of time out of your busy schedule on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock to sit here and watch three dudes in front of a computer screen talk barbecue. It's what we love. It's our passion. We really do appreciate it. Thank you so much for your support for all those that have bought our classes on barbecuechamps.com. Thank you for that. And I hope next week you'll join us 7 o'clock Central, 8 o'clock Eastern, Lord willing. We're going to try to be here again with Mr. Wild Bill and Texas Select Seasoning. We're hoping we're going to be able to get him on. It's going to be a great show. If you want to know about rubs, this guy's got it going on. He's been doing it since 1982. And we'll have a good time next week with him. As we always close out our classes, y'all go out there, have a lot of fun.